Good afternoon, paranormal community, and thank you for partaking in this amazing episode of the Odyssey Files. I'm your host, Michael O'Neill. With me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Mr. Anthony Hernandez. Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Could you say that with just a little bit of excitement? Just curious.
I'm telling you, that's my problem. I tend to be like the monotone or the even keel. But yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a great day.
Golf clap on that one. Thank you. So no time for chit chat because we have a wonderful guest, one that I've been looking forward to for 2 years now. He has been gone way too long from the show, so happy to have him back. He is the star of Hulu's original series, Living for the Dead, master of the tarot. I can vouch for this because I have gotten many of embarrassing readings from him. Embarrassing on my part, not his. He does his best not to laugh or roll his eyes at me. So, welcome back to the show, Mr. Kenneth Boggle.
Hi.
How are you doing, Kenneth?
I'm great. I'm good. How are you? You all right?
Yes. You do say that every time that I talk to you, as if you're really expecting me to be like, I'm about to end it.
What do you mean? Is it in my delivery? Is it in my tone? How are you, Michael?
Well, that would be better because you're like, are you okay?
No, it's the thing of sincerity. I'm like, you all right? Because the world's rough right now, dude. Like you hanging in there. I think everybody's that way. I think I do that with everybody. You all right, babe? You doing okay?
Yeah. I want to. I just want to say this really quick that I really appreciate you rocking out to the intro.
God, you can see it.
Okay. And
I didn't know.
I could see it, and I wanted to bring it up because I don't know if you know this or not, but that's Sam's band.
I thought the drums were incredible.
Yes, it was Sam on the drums. But
of course it was.
yeah,
I know Sam. So it was great. I'm gonna say it. I think it's one of my top 3 favorite intros to a paranormal podcast.
Wow.
One being Roz Hernandez Ghosted. I thought that was glorious. The other one, well, it's pretty great. You should check it out. And then this one, and then there's one other, and I can't think of the name of the show, so it's kind of pointless, but they've got a pretty good one. This one's really good. You got a great one. Great one.
Appreciate that because nobody ever tells me anything about it.
Losers.
I agree.
I don't mean that.
So we have a bunch of things we have to cover in only an hour to do it. So, and honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to do them, to give them the time that they deserve.
Okay.
Well, because we have so much to cover, our conversation about the LGBTQ community and the paranormal is not something that can be covered in 15 minutes.
Well, it's not something that'd be covered in 15 years.
Well, true. But I mean, we can't do it justice in 15 minutes.
No, but we can crack an egg. We can try that.
Yes, we can. And like I was telling you before the show, I'm personally I'm interested in everything that we want to talk about. But I was shocked and really interested in the paranormal celebrity cowardice. I want to know what even brought that up.
Yeah, rampant. It's rampant out there. Cowards. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. I'll fill you in.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. But okay. First, though, talk a little bit about your show because obviously things changed for you in your life when that came out. And you and I kind of lost contact with each other at that same time. So even though I should know already, what you're going to talk about, I don't. So without going into too much context on the show itself, because if you didn't see it, that's your fault. Listen, not you personally, Ken.
Oh no, I have it. It's on store. It's in storage. It's got 2 different hard drives. I own that. I own that.
Nice.
Yep.
Just what do you
I just
mean
never
by
watch it.
You know,
Go ahead.
the thing about it is like people are surprised that I never listened to this show, and I'm like, why? I was the one that made it. Like I was there. I don't need to listen to it again.
Well, it's a little different in television because they edit it, so you have to find out who you are at the end of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And one of these days, not on the air, we will have that conversation, I'm sure.
I'd love that.
Yes, I think you might. But anyway, talk a little bit about the show and what you mean when you say how your life kind of changed after the fact.
Okay, so the show was, in my mind, one of the hardest things I ever did professionally. I didn't just lose touch with you; I lost touch with everybody. It wasn't as if I got on a Ken Boggle balloon and floated away because I was above everybody. It was because I was suffering in such a way that I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I think in retrospect, my life changed from it so that I could continue to do what I do full time. That's a glorious thing. That's a wonderful, huge blessing. I get to be Ken Boggle 24/7, and I am. The bummer to that is that I'm Ken Boggle 24/7. You know what I mean? Like a lady wrote me last night at 8:46 p.m. because her father had died, and I had predicted that there was going to be a really horrific challenge that she had to face, an emotional structure thing that was related around family that we needed to kind of I gave her a reading about it. She 8:46, she wanted to have a conversation about it. And really it was just her saying, good job on predicting it. But who wants to be like, oh great, you told me my dad was gonna die, and here we go. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say daddy was gonna pass. I just described it without saying it because you're never supposed to predict a death. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, my life changed also because I got so incredibly depressed. I gained 100 pounds. My thing used to be drugs and alcohol. Now it's food. And I don't feel bad about it at all. Not at all. I'm as big as a bear. I'm meaner than I ever was, which says a lot. And I'm as real as I could possibly be. I've learned authenticity. That show taught me about who I really, really, really am and how very little patience I have for anybody who's not going to meet me there. Still love everybody, but it taught me about authenticity. And it taught me about voice. And it taught me that for 6 months. And then the 2 years following it broke me to a point where I had to rebuild me. It was rough. Back to therapy, back to counseling to figure it out. Thank God. It's helped me a lot. But yeah, that show rocked my world, rocked it hard. I don't think I've ever been so negatively affected by the cancellation of it was hard, but they deleted it. And to me, that was ripping a chunk because I don't have a husband. I don't have a man. I don't have a baby. I don't have these things. My baby's Ken Boggle, and you not only silenced him, but you ripped it away. That's wrong. Dirty pool. And it broke my heart worse than I haven't been that hurt since I was 15, and my parents said they didn't want a queer for a son. That's how hard it was. Going and getting my first apartment was easier than this.
I had a question for you, just real quick, because when I was reading some stuff, I read that it was even Emmy nominated. So,
well, honey, no, it was not only that; it was Emmy nominated, GLAAD nominated, ARDA nominated. It won, by the way, the ARDA. It was nominated for cowardice. It was nominated for all kinds of things that also don't matter. And we won them. And then the next day, I was getting a bath, and they said it's over. So you're Emmy nominated, you're GLAAD nominated, you've won an ARDA, but it's over. Oh well, it's the hardest moment.
Great show, goodbye.
Yeah, And it wasn't about being
Yeah.
famous or anything. It was about finally, I found that thing I'm really great at, which is paranormal investigating in a way that works for television that I could understand and I could be involved with authentically, genuinely, and truthfully. This is my truth. And then that doesn't come. I know paranormal industry. That doesn't happen a lot. You don't get to be genuine. You don't get to be. You don't get to be raw. This was giving me that, and it got snatched away from me. Oh my gosh! I was in that moment. I cried and I laid in the tub for 3 hours. And the only way I could get out was that I had ordered a cake, a whole cake, to be delivered to my house that said, better luck next time, ho. And that's what the cake said. And I thought that was very funny, and I should get up and eat that cake, you know. Good, better luck next time, slut. And they brought it to my house, and I ate the whole thing, and that's how I got through that day. This was a really horrible thing. Really horrible.
So it wasn't the show as to why you were going through all of this. It was the fact that it was taken away, that it was, very quickly.
Not only stopped, but it was deleted.
Yeah.
That does the you can still watch Encino Man, for fuck's sake. You can still watch. Do you know what I mean? That horrible piece of garbage. What was it called? Like National Treasure number 11 or something like that. Nicolas Cage. You can still watch Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry. It's not right. It's not right.
I agree with you on that one. But I mean, not to make light of this, but I just want to add, is there anywhere you can watch it still or no?
Yeah, if you go to those pirate sites. If you go to the pirate sites, which I suggest you do. Listen, the reality of what this is, and I'm just going to go ahead and predict it. This is a cult thing. This is Rocky Horror. This is, in time, we will be proven to be as important to the queer voice as, Paisley or it's going to be a big moment for the queers. I think it's going to be a good moment for us because I think there are still people who say, I've been watching it, and I've been actually, some people that I know, they've put it on DVDs and shared it with each other. It's still touching people. It's a sub-cult following. It's really great. They won't be able to shut it down, but it broke my heart in such a way. No, it wasn't the show that broke me. The show changed me. I changed, but it was the losing it that was devastating. Devastating.
It honestly doesn't sound like there was anything that you did or y'all did wrong in that. That sounds like it was somebody's agenda that got it shut down.
I mean, if you can still watch Encino Man, and it's terrible. I don't think that, you know what I mean? Was it Downton Abbey? No. Was it supposed to be? No. And how can you as an executive think we're going to have a gay genre, paranormal investigation, with not a niche genre, paranormal investigation with a gay cast, niche market, being realistic and having emotions, niche. It was never going to be a forced fire. It had to be a slow burn, and they had no balls to do it. And I'm talking about, the powers that be. I think there was a political agenda next to it, and I think it was a money thing that didn't play out. And I think they were not ready for the fact it was going to challenge people to the point where they said, we hate Disney, we hate Hulu. They weren't ready for that. What do you mean you weren't ready for that? What do you mean? Queer investigators, including a trans Latina person and a black female voice in something that's never happened before. Of course you didn't want it. Cowards.
So let me ask you this, because I don't.
Does that make sense? I just got really mad, and I don't know what I've said in the last 10 minutes. Am I making sense?
Yes, Ken.
Okay, thank God. Thank God.
You, no matter what your emotional state, you always make sense.
Thank God for being eloquent. She can be taught. She had a pet rooster, but she's smart. Okay, I got this.
So, what was their official reason for canceling it? Because I don't think I ever saw that. It was just, it's being canceled. It's now going away. That was it. Like, there was no reason ever that I ever saw posted.
Their licensing rights expired. All you have to do is pay to have it back. That's all you have to do.
But they own the license. It was their original show. It's not like they went to Warner Brothers and it was like, we'd like this on our platform. Like, they made it.
I don't understand it, and it's above my pay grade, and I don't really want to get sued by anybody. So,
Especially Disney.
well, they can suck my. Well, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. Thank you, sir.
Okay, well then this is a good transition to the main topic, which I think, like, again, we're not going to do justice to this. And honestly, I would like to have you back.
Okay.
Excuse me, to talk specifically about this. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
My blinds they're not blinding. There we go. Crazy.
you're not going to do the rest of the show with your hand over your ear.
No, I'm not. If this doesn't stop, we will make this go away. Who wants the sun right now? It's December. Fuck off. You know what I mean? No, if I catch a tan, nobody will recognize me. I'm Morticia Adams. I can't stand this. What do you mean?
You are quite pasty, I will say that.
No. Someone said you should go on vacation. I was like, and catch a tan? Nobody would know me. You know what I mean? Nobody would. That can't be Ken Boggle. He's got color.
Well, I mean, the shirts you wear, will give you some color. But anyways, so
Michael, wait, we have to talk about that real quick. Michael,
okay, sure, go ahead.
I went on vacation.
I find that hard to believe.
I know, and I didn't wear any color at all. I'm Ken Boggle. I literally was in a parasol with black robes, trailing like I looked like Elphaba. I got off that parasol. They took a picture. They were like, it was like the Wicked Witch of the West. One kid was like, you served wicked. And I was like, yes, queen. You know what I mean? So no, not even on vacation do I have any color at all. It's always just black and white. Always. How ridiculous. Just do it.
Oh, Kenneth. Okay. So I want to preface it. Excuse me. I need some water. I want to preface this with a little bit of a story. I'll try to make it quick, because it was my first foray into even understanding that there was an issue with somebody being gay or part of the LGBTQ community and the rest. And Dave and I had on Father Bishop Long, James Long.
Yeah, James. Yeah.
And
I saw him not too long ago.
And he's doing great for in general.
Mm-hmm.
But what threw me for a loop is like the first 20 minutes of the show, he was telling us about all of these hate crimes against him, and people who were throwing, I mean, in person, not like throwing stuff at him, but demeaning him and, acting like he was some sort of, I don't want to say a freak, but he was like, you didn't belong, and how much they hated him.
Mm.
And I remember sitting there listening to him and being literally just, what? What? I could not believe him. And because I'd been in the paranormal field, at that time, I mean, it's 14 years now, but I mean, at that time, maybe 6-7 years, never heard of anything like that before in my life. And I guess that's my own little bubble of whiteness here in Minnesota. And so when you got this part in this show, you had told me flat out, he's like, this is our chance. This is our chance to make a show and show. And again, I was still flabbergasted, because I'm like, why do you need that? I still cannot, I can have, it's right brain, left brain for me. I get that there's an issue. And on the other side of it, I'm like, why is there an issue?
Right.
And so I want to give you however much time you need. And I mean, I don't need the any gruesome details, but I mean, obviously things have gone on with you that even makes you want to broach this topic in general. And you and I have never talked about it, because I don't want to say there's never been a need to, but I have to think that we haven't, because you and I understand that that doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And so, but to some people it does, and I'd like your opinions on why you think that is.
Well, why is because people are jacked up. These are the same people who voted for somebody who is harboring pedophiles. I have no judgment from you, Pope. And if you wear a red hat, I could give a rat's ass what you think. You're a sick, deluded lot, and I love you. You're my brothers and sisters, but you're fucked up. So I don't care why you do it. It's your own specific hatred. You all carry malice. You carry nothing but vitriol and spite in your teeth. And I don't want any part of it. You're a sick, disgusting lot for voting for what you've put into power and allowing it to happen. You've proved who you are. Now, that proves who I am. I am this monster that they make you out as LGBT. Drag queens can't even read to children. What do you mean? What do you mean? We're the monsters, and this is what's in the White House, a 34-time convicted felon who sexually assaults people? What are you talking about? You've lost your mind. But we're the problem. It's been that way since the beginning. They hate anything different. They hate anything different. If you're offended by what I say, feel free to unfollow. It doesn't matter anymore. 0% doesn't matter, because there's a bigger problem here. My people aren't going to keep getting shut down the way we are. Just the other day, Michael, there was a conversation about whether or not we were still going to be married. What are you talking about? Of course, this is still a problem. Okay, let me give you some hardcore examples about what it's like to be gay in this industry. I've made television history 3 times, and what do you know about it? Nothing. 3 times I've made television history. No, you won't find me in any history books. You won't find my name written anywhere. There's no statue. Do you know who else did that? Lucille Ball. What's the difference? Well, it's not just because I'm fat. Do you know what I mean? It's not just because I'm a man, because, the writers of All in the Family and Norman Lear, they've got their statues. They've got their little awards. You don't get that when you're a queer in this business. You don't. And I've done a television in such a way that I have people who've written to me about how things I've said changed their life. People get tattoos based on what comes out of my mouth. I can name 6 right off the top of my head, not just in America, but across the world. The only place I've not changed a life is the Arctics, but I don't know any fucking penguins that need a tarot card reading. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, you'll not find me anywhere because they don't want me. But like the clap, I refuse to go away. So here we are, still trying to get Haunters Against Hate. I went and I did this thing. It's an LGBT paranormal thing. It's wonderful. They're trying to get our message out. They're showing that we can have a voice in the life after death. How many rewards have they given me? It's based in where? Kentucky. Hard, really hard. I don't think they really knew until I showed up and talked about everything I have done and how the things I succeeded about, just how very, special it was to have me there. It was one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, you've proved yourself in real time. I'm now getting people to, come and speak on real political issues because it's there. People are beginning to notice it. Ken Boggle's a philanthropist who has dressed over 700 children who can't afford coats and scarves and hats and gloves. Since COVID, I've helped dress 700 underprivileged children. What have you heard about it? Nothing.
Well,
I've done Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer
granted,
Foundation. Go ahead.
I would say, granted, we are in Minnesota and you're in Kentucky.
No, I'm talking about people in general. In general, every year for 6 years, I've gone on Facebook and done a drive for what? Toys for Tots. When are we talking about that? Never. So it's hard in this business. It's hard. But you know what? I refuse to go away. And there's no stopping me. No stopping me. I don't care if you like it or not. I'll be here anyway, son. I'll be here anyway. Good luck. Good luck.
You want to say something, Anthony?
No, I'm kind of glad you asked that question, because I was feeling like, I don't know, filtered or something. I was thinking, because I grew up military brat, so I didn't see a lot of that stuff. So I would want I could care what color, whatever. I want the best person for the job, not some demographic checkbox.
It should be that way. You should always be. And it's like Dr. King said, there's going to come a day when a man is judged by the content of his character, not by his race, creed, or you know what I mean? I did a massive, it's been seen like 12,000 times, this massive speech that I did in Chicago. And I said, I don't care where you pray. I don't care what documents you have. I don't care where you were born. I don't care what color of skin you have. You could be a him, a her, a was, a cuz. It could be anybody. The words and the others. I don't care. I love you because you're my brothers and my sisters. And you've got to take care of each other and prove yourself. It's got nothing to do with the demographic checkbox. Nothing. It should be based on the content of what you do, your character, what you stand for, I think.
So
coming to get me. Can you hear the alarm?
Coming to shut you down now.
Shut me down. Bring it, sis. He ate today. He's hungry.
I think you greatly overestimate the reach of this show.
I still say what I say no matter what, because somebody's going to hear me. Somebody's going to hear me eventually.
I agree. So when you say industry, obviously you mean the entertainment industry.
I mean entertainment, paranormal specific, paranormal people specific. What did Adam Berry really do to promote Living for the Dead? What did Chip Coffey actually do to promote Living for the Dead? She sat there in her Atlanta mansion and said nothing. Said nothing. This is a pioneer of LGBT voices in the paranormal. What did Chip Coffey do to help me out? Nothing. How many books do I have autographed by him? How many seminars have I gone to? How many VIP passes? How many things have I bought from him? Thousands of dollars. It's all lined up right here. What did Boy do for me? Squat. So no, it's hard to make it in this industry, even by people who are supposed to support you. You know why? Because it's a snake den. It's a snake den. They're all after themselves and they're eating each other. We saw what happened the other day with that whole Nick Groff's wife, and Chip Coffey finally said something. Who stood up for Chip? I did. Why? Because I'm your friend even when the chips are down. I've still got you. Even when the chips are down, I'm going to stand up for you. Do I like what you did to me? No. But if I can't get treated with respect by my LGBT pioneers, how on God's green earth am I going to get respected by anybody else? This business is hard, paranormal industry specific.
But why? Like that I continually go back to that question, because what I don't mean to make light of anything that anybody has had to go through. But again, to me, I look at this and I'm like, what does it matter? I like Chip Coffey because he's talented at what he does. And I think he's a good person. I thought Adam Berry was a very decent individual. And then I saw him again and that went away. And I think that's more Amy Bruni's type of influence than anything. But I mean, I don't look at these guys and I don't look at them and be like, Chip or Adam. I'm like, oh, they're gay. I don't care. I couldn't care less. It's what they do, as you were saying. It's how they represent the field. It's how they help people. And
Michael, you have a very progressive view. So you don't understand what the other side does, because that's your side. That's your reality. There's a whole, and both things can be true. Yours is totally true. There shouldn't be an issue. We shouldn't have to have this conversation. There shouldn't have to be a television history moment because 5 queers got in a van and investigated the undead. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be these things, but we have to do them. There shouldn't have to be a pride parade. There shouldn't have to be an issue about gay rights. You're right, love. There shouldn't, but there is. These truths are true at the exact same time. They exist. So we just now have to figure out what to do to sort that out, and raise our voices.
What do you suggest? Why don't you close your blind?
Because if I stand up, you'll realize I'm wearing shorts, and I don't know if y'all edit this thing or not. And I don't trust you to do it anyway. So no, we will not be standing up right now. That's not happening. We'd rather burn our corneas than stand up right now.
Okay, fair enough. This is you look like you're already going to prison.
Stop it.
Because you have the stripes. Go on.
It's all black and white. Just like put a filter on it, make it very noir. I'll pose more often. Yeah.
Do you think, and I'm skipping over a whole bunch of stuff, but that's time wise. Yeah. Do you think there will come a day in more sooner than later where we don't have to have this conversation, or this conversation no longer needs to be made or have?
I don't know if I'll be alive for that to happen. That'll probably come after I'm gone that day.
Well, that could be tomorrow with how much food you eat.
$257 in one day is my record. Well, it's not drugs. It's not alcohol. It's, it's still coping. We all have to cope. We all have our stuff. I think that even when that day does come, Michael, which hopefully it does, we don't have to have these things. These things are just accepted as simple as drawing breath. But as soon as it happens, there will be another person that gets chastised, brought down, and is made less than. It's what humans do. It's why their opinion doesn't matter anymore. Not to me. They always break each other down. They can't stand to see somebody else rise up, especially if they don't understand it or get it. So, whereas it used to be the African-American community, then it became the indigenous peoples, the African-American, the Irish, you list it. They don't like anybody who's different than they are. Human beings have a terrible time. There's always a Frankenstein. There's always a monster to chase to the windmill. Always.
The sad thing is I've said that many, many times. And like we can't exist as a society unless we have an enemy.
Yeah.
And it baffles me how it switches, because it starts, they rise up against something, and then it's kind of deemed to be like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, and then they go off with something else.
Yeah, it's sort of like the pendulum swings, right? And if you stay, well, let me rephrase that. If you're left hard enough, you eventually go right. Do you know what I mean? If your direction is hardcore right, you're eventually going to make a circle. Right now, they're hating on the gays, and the gays are hating on the Christians. Well, both are wrong. It's not Christians who are the problem. It's not the gays that are the problem. What the problem is a genuine just need to hate each other. And the one thing we should be hating are the corrupted, greedy individuals who charge us money to hurt us, who aren't there to represent us at all. There's your real enemy. Now, you can be distracted by the sports. You can be distracted by your politics. You can be distracted by your religion, because that's what they want. It's a circus to keep us constantly divided. Or you can look at the root of it and say, who pumps all this propaganda out and controls all of it? The mass money market media and the government. They're the ones who do this. I ain't playing no more. I've checked out. I've punched out. I'm not participating. And the reason for that is because I'm aware of it now. It's all a big circus, and I didn't buy tickets. It's peanuts to me. I don't care. But if people don't get together and realize that, they'll never make any sense. I don't have time to talk if you can't realize that. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking that it's probably not a coincidence that. So this morning, I should say this afternoon, when I woke up, I had a notification from YouTube, and I was like, "Sweet, we got a new subscriber." But no, it wasn't. It was I got a new badge unlocked for being a top listener of the Glee cast. And you're what? You're done?
I'm dead. I'm just gonna. I'll send flowers.
Well, so here's why I bring that up. There is a line that I've been since we've tried to get this show scheduled. There's a line from the show that keeps coming up in my mind, and I'm just going to end this topic with that, even though we'll come back to it at a later show.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the basic synopsis of the entire show, and it is see the world not as it is, but as it should be. And I hope one day that will come to pass.
Yes, I hope so too.
So, like I said, we'll go more in depth. I do want to bring you back on the show to talk specifically just about that.
I'd be happy to.
And other things. You and I have got like 4 different shows like already planned. It's just bringing you back on to do it.
I'm basically the George Carlin of the paranormal industry, I think. And I think it's wonderful to have me on that much. George Carlin was great.
George Carlin was great.
He was very right, too. He was very right about a lot of stuff.
And sadly, still is.
Yes. Yes. Good old Georgie.
You know, I watch, I don't know if anybody has ever seen The Newsroom, which is an HBO original series. If you haven't, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is amazing. The writing is unbelievable. The first like episode or two, like they get into these arguments and these bickering debates and stuff. And this is from early 2000s, maybe even less than that, maybe even earlier than that. You could watch that show today and it is still relevant.
Still relevant.
You change like the news, like the news that they're reporting on. Like it was the first one that was Horizon, the oil rig that sank in the Gulf. Like that was the first news thing that they did in the series. That's how far back it goes. If they changed those news articles to more recent, you wouldn't have to change the writing at all.
No. Same old stories, same old song and dance. It's all the same.
And I watch it and I'm just like, God, what are we doing? Like we haven't evolved at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. We haven't changed a damn thing.
Not at all, babe.
Same old propaganda.
Same old song and dance. I think my friend Aerosmith said years ago, same old story.
A lot of people say that, Ken.
Well, I mean, but Steven Tyler put in a song, son, and it's worth mentioning. This is same old story, same old song and dance, son.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know he put it in a song, therefore it's more important.
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
All right. So we're going to transition off.
Okay.
Because I really want to get into this paranormal celebrity cowardice.
Uh-huh.
And like you've already talked about how like Chip and Adam, you don't feel like they supported the show in any way, shape, or form. I mean, is that kind of what you're talking about, or what do you mean when you say this?
No, and I need to say something about Adam Berry. I never really got time to hang out with Adam. There were moments where he was really, really rude to me. Rude. And I was responsible sometimes for paying for him to be there. He doesn't know that. So how can I hold him accountable for that? But I've been dismissed from by Adam Berry 3 times. Dismissed, hand waved, dismissed. And that hurts. But I've recently spent time with him in Chicago. And I was having this moment on a stage where I was supposed to be drawing stuff as paranormal charades or paranormal Pictionary. And he put a card in front of me and I was supposed to draw this thing, this dirty, dirty situation. I think it was called a ghost orgy is what I was supposed to draw. It was a ghost orgy, which I successfully achieved. Anyway, I stood there and I looked at him right in front of everybody. My eyes were as big as saucers and I just kind of held his arm and I looked at him and if you ever see me scared, Michael, it's really interesting. And I said to him with the microphone away from me, I said, Adam, I can't do this. Like I cannot go up there and draw a ghost orgy. And he said to me, Ken, just breathe. Like right there in front of everybody while they were clapping and hooting and hollering. He was like, I'm going to stand right here with you. Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to throw anything at you. You're going to be okay. Just breathe and let's go do it. And I was like, okay. We had this moment where I'm like, you know what? You are not a bad person. You know, you maybe you didn't support me the way I wanted you to, but you're not a bad guy. I just needed to say that. Now, let's talk about paranormal celebrity cowardice. There are so many paranormal celebrities, and I'm using quotations there because I don't think celebrity is the word. You're not. You're not. Until I can drop you in an African village and they know who you are. You know what I mean? Then you're a celebrity. How many kids do we see in Africa wearing white socks and black shoes when Michael Jackson showed up? All of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's celebrity. You know, we might hate her, but I don't. But Kim Kardashian's a celebrity. Taylor's a celebrity. You're just, you're not. Anyway, neither am I. My show was seen in more countries than yours, but who's counting? What I'm saying is, let's not be catty. You know what I mean? Don't throw a stone. Don't. What I'm saying is there are so many paranormal celebrities right now who are not saying a single thing about the atrocities being committed politically. None of them. Some of them even voted and still are in support of these things. Sick and wrong. I think there's a tremendous level of responsibility when you have a platform that says, I know X amount of people. No, regardless, we are all supposed to be saying something. If you permit it, you promote it. If you say nothing, silence is compliance. And they're not saying anything. Instead, we got, and I love him as a person, but he's crossed me. Dustin Perry showing up like coming at you live like I do every night, saying jack shit about the atrocities performed by pedophile felons in the White Office. But everything's great, man. Everything's great. Jingle bottom my ass. I think that's ridiculous, and it's socially irresponsible and shameful. I love him. Great hair. Good guy. I've talked to him for years. But he has said nothing about what's really important here. None of them have. None of them. A couple of the new up-and-coming really great podcasters have. A lot of them. Oddity, the paranormal, the Oddity Shop. What is the other one? Oh my God, with Noelle and Nicole. What is it called? Frig. John Tenney has said some stuff. Jessica, his cohort on the Weirdos podcast, they've said things. But there needs to come from somebody a conversation here about the fact that we got pedophiles in the White House and they're being saved by this. They're withholding justice from children. That gays are being threatened more so now than ever. In a long time, more so than what we've been had in a long time. They're shutting the queer voice down. Y'all are saying nothing about that. The Hispanic community is being just destroyed and decimated right now. You're saying nothing about that. What's wrong with you? Children are having their lunches taken away, and you're thinking, hey, coming at you live like I do every night, blow it out your hole. Coming at me, talk to me about something that's real. Talk to me about something that's true. And if you don't, then you're party to it. I'm sorry. If you don't stand up, you stand with them. That's my reality. And it's because we all need to get together and say some stuff's wrong and we need to sort it out. And until you do that, I don't have anything for you. They're cowards. Cowards. Love you. You're my brothers and sisters. I am your keeper, but you're wrong right now. And I'm going to tell you to your face you're wrong. I would stand at any moment. I would hug Dustin Perry's neck, say I love him, and then say, what a bitch you're being right now. What an absolute wussy ass piece are you being right now? Really?
You know, the thing...
They're all scared to lose their book deals. They're all scared to lose the Travel Channel. They're all scared to lose the Discovery. Well, you're losing touch with your humanity. There's two things that are important in life: either what you get in a paycheck or what you do with your spirit and what you do with your time and what your character says about you. I'm wondering which one you're going to do, and you've proved me right. You have nothing to do with anything other than your own successes. Love you, but you're garbage. I love you, but you're garbage.
So I thought back to what happened to the Dixie Chicks.
Yes, let's talk about the Dixie Chicks.
No. I don't want to talk about the Dixie Chicks, but I mean, we should. Well, maybe another.
Let me talk about the Dixie Chicks.
No,
the Dixie Chicks ran over to Europe. They shot their mouth off about the second George Bush, right? The George Jr. Was it George W? Is what it is. W.
It was George W. But
Yeah,
I thought
George W.
I thought
No.
they did it at a Texas concert.
Well, no, they first did it in Ireland. That's what showed up. That's what got on the newsreels. That's what got everything hot fired up. They got death threats. They lost their things. They had to change their name and all these things. And about how they had to issue a public apology.
Mm-hmm.
No,
they wrote songs about it.
You wrote songs about it. And then to say, I'm not ready to make nice. Bitch, you already apologized, sis. You already did. So what I'm saying to this is I would have much more respect for you if you lost everything to stand up for what was right.
Yeah, but people aren't willing to make that sacrifice.
I don't care. You should. I am.
So
there's what's right, and then there's what I was going to say. There's what's right, and then there's what's profitable. And I think profits are what drive, unfortunately, because I think everyone gets into these businesses ultimately the whole reason you get involved with paranormal and stuff like that is to help people or figure things out. But I think ultimately money alters people and changes their perspectives, and in order to keep and hold on to the money, you start changing who you are to make sure you keep that money.
Thank you, Anthony. And you know what it's called? It's called selling your soul out. And I don't do that.
Hold on. out of the three of us, I'm the one that knows more than anybody how much money affects people. And changes how they act. But to your point, Anthony, I don't think there's doing what's right and then there's doing what's profitable. In this instance, for what you're talking about, and I only mean it with this specific instance.
Yeah.
There's doing what's right and then there's doing what's safe. I mean, when you come out and you start, as you put it, Ken, talking about what's right, just as the Dixie Chicks did a long time ago, and all they said was that they were ashamed that the president was from their state. That was it. And all of a sudden, like these people have, like Dustin has a family. And so whereas I get your point and I agree with it, that what is the line? Those who have the ability to do something have the responsibility to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But in this day and age, that's almost inviting a death sentence.
I do it.
Now, I know you would do it, but you honestly, Ken, from what I've gotten from you, like you don't think you have anything left to lose.
No, well, no, it's not that. It's because I don't value anything more than I value what's right. My value is the safety of children. My value is feeding the hungry. My value is dressing the naked. My value is giving comfort to the homeless. I don't care what happens to me. If I keep my mouth shut about these things, it's wrong. It's categorically wrong. So that's my shtick. I understand you've got kids. I understand you got a family. I get that. I understand. There are plenty of people, Shane Pittman, who know how to turn a phrase, and he's done it. Shane Pittman has said some stuff in a way that changes what you think, but it's okay. He's not quiet. They're quiet. Now, there's a way to discuss what's going on, like very flat, like the news does, the BBC, NPR. You can discuss these topics without losing your gourd. I lose my gourd because it looks good on me. I lose my gourd because I don't know any other way to live. I've been this way for a long time. Yeah, so, no, there's a way to say something. There's also a way for you to be actively working against these things by your own funding, by your own stuff. I do all kinds of stuff to raise money to help with organizations and movements to end this kind of tyranny and this kind of outrageous political strife. I give my hard-earned cash for it, but nobody needs to know about that. They could do these things, but they don't. They don't. And also, I get your point, Michael, in that you know better than anybody else. But I was put on a list on Twitter, and they said, "Well, Ken, I hope you're not participating in any future events." And I said, "Absolutely, I am." because I'm your friend when you had the big success. I was your friend before the big success, when you had the big success, after the big success. When the failure happened, I still stood by you. You can check any of the podcasts I've done. You can check any of my tweets. Michael O'Neill is still a good man to me. I don't care where you are. And also, maybe if you wanted to make more money, you should have stayed at your table and done your job like Uncle Ken did. Maybe what you shouldn't do is charge people $3,000 just to show up. Maybe what you should do is go make your money at the table like the rest of us hardworking, ugly strippers have to do. Let's talk about that. Do you know what I mean? You don't sit at your table. You don't do the things. How dare you talk to him about not being able to pay you? Sis, make your own cash. Please. Cry on another shoulder, sis. Ain't here. It ain't here. I ain't got one for you. I'm saying I hear that you understand how money changes people, but it is wrong and ugly. They get vicious and nasty and they change on a dime. And you know what? That ain't me, babe. That ain't me.
That's why I still love you, Ken.
And I tell them to their face. They blacklisted me, and I said, "Well, you've never supported me." I laughed. I've been blacklisted 3 times. Do you know what? I laugh every time, because you can't keep me down. Last time you blacklisted me, I got nominated for an Emmy. Do it again. Do it again. You know what I mean? Hit me with your blacklist. I'm down. I'm good. Do me a favor.
Do you? I don't really want to get into this, but I mean, it goes to the question of do you think that sort of, because they say like any publicity is good publicity, even negative publicity is good publicity. Like, do you think this blacklisting and stuff like raises your standing?
I don't think so, because money's tight. I don't think so, but it doesn't matter, because like I said, I'll be here anyway, my guys. I'll be here anyway. And I'll still be going to little functions and little markets, changing people's lives every single day, 7 days a week. You can't shut me down. You can't put him down over my cold dead bodies. It's what that woman says in that meme. Oh, if you want to stop me, that meme, that's Kid Boggle. It's just ugly and real. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think you're going to be taken out by a cheesecake, but that's just me.
Hey, he went the way he wanted to, babe.
That will be my thing. This is a tragic loss for the world, but he went out the way he wanted.
Okay, he was found naked with a cheesecake in his hand and a bag of Cheetos, like in a Taco Bell on the table, and he had Chinese on the way. You know what I mean? Like, that's how, I want to go. And when it's over, I want them to say how very difficult Ken Boggle was. He was so difficult. You know what I mean? I want them to say, oh, but he changed people's lives, and he was his brother's keeper, and he did speak to what was right, and he was one of the hardest working people in this business. You just can't. That's a great way to go.
So great, another great segue. Oh, we're nailing it today. So you wanted to talk about the way your career has changed unexpectedly.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm surprised by that, because you seem to be doing the exact same thing that you were always doing.
No, it's because you don't know.
I don't know. That's why we brought you on.
Yeah. So
I thought you're like cleaning.
I was cleaning the spit out of myself because I get angry and spit builds up. I am doing things. Okay, my career has changed a lot. I'm not just doing tarot card readings now. It first initially started to break off into something very unique, in that I have a fascination with astrology, and I've been learning it. So I've started offering birth chart readings and tarot card readings together. They've actually been phenomenal. I've had more people message me back after those sessions than I have had in a long time. Then it started changing. So that's a new thing. Then another thing started happening where I've been doing a lot of ceremonies, a lot of weddings. I don't know how that happened. When did that ever occur?
As in like officiating, or you're officiating weddings?
Yeah. Who knew that was going to happen? Be there for my child's birth 3 times. 3 times. You predicted my baby. Would you name it? 12 times. Listen, house blessings. When did I ever say that I was going to be doing a house blessing, Michael? Not ever. Not ever. I've got spiritual deliverances, exorcism stuff. I went through so much holy water in October that I'm out. I'm out. Out. I had to call the Vatican and get them to I need a rush order. Blessed medallions that I put in people's homes when I'm done cleaning them. I get those from the Vatican. I'm out. I have to get a whole new order in 2026. I'm going to have to get new stuff. I keep a white box in case of emergencies full of holy water made from the River Jordan. I've had to go through it. It's crazy. And what do? I come home and eat quesadilla, do some laundry, and pay the electric bill. Watch the nanny on Roku channel. What the fuck is my reality? What has happened to me? The most unexpected journey a boy could be on, son.
I just want to say, and I mean this completely and with total sincerity. When it comes to the birth of my child, there are a lot of people that I want in the room. You are not one of them.
Fair. Fair. That's fair. Michael, I don't know how it happened.
Now, in the waiting room, sure.
Well, I'm not in there holding stirrups, Michael. I'm not in there with one leg behind her head. No, they want me to be there like when the baby comes home, or to be in the waiting room. To be in the waiting room, I didn't do it. I mean, they want me to be present when the child comes home. I mean, I've blessed.
You didn't say it like that.
Okay, what I mean is they want me there for the birth celebration of their child. I've blessed bellies. Not in just like a spiritual way, but in like Ken, we just want you to bless our baby. Who knew that was going to happen? Who knew?
Crazy. Do you think that's because of the show?
No, I think that comes from 33 years of really, really working hard to be there for people and to hone my craft in a way that you trust me, you believe in me, and I don't let you down in that capacity, and that I think people come to me now not with not looking for me to do some kind of a circus trick with a deck of cards, but people are coming to me now to say, help me out. I'm in trouble. And it's gone from you were on Hulu to Ken, I don't know how I'm going to make it without somebody helping me right now. Can you do something? It's changed.
Are you noticing more of that, or has it increased? Or okay,
yeah. I make the joke about holy water, but I'm out. And I had 8 bottles. I keep it on stock. And I mean, that's not me just going into being religious in some capacity. That's me using this what I think is a magical, intention-based liquid to do good stuff for people, and to use it in this metaphysical, spiritual ceremonies and rituals that I do for people. I never thought that was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I understood cocaine addiction for 25 years. I didn't think I was going to ever lead anybody spiritually. What are you talking about? I made Amy Winehouse look like a quitter only because she died. Do you know what I mean? Like, who knew anybody was going to ask me about spiritual wellness? Not me.
Not me.
Ask my bartender at Old Hookers. He had no idea this was going to happen. You know what I mean? Nobody expected this. Nobody.
Are you enjoying it? I mean, is it something that you find fulfilling?
Hold on just a second. Yeah, I find it fulfilling, but also I find it incredibly dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason we had to break open the bottle of blessed, River Jordan water, like it's in case of emergencies. You know what I mean? Like you go to the Holy Land and get the water from the River Jordan. It was this in case of emergency white locked box that was like nobody ever touched this, and it's sent right back here. Well, after I was done with October, I was laying down resting early bit of November, the first little bit of November, and I was having soup in bed, literally a bowl of soup on my belly like a pregnant lady. I'm happy as a lark. My partner came through the hallway, and he's built like Dan Connor. Big fella. He come through the hallway running, couldn't breathe, tears, just sprinklers, couldn't breathe. I'm in bed and I'm like, what? Like, what is happening? What's going on? What's happening? Excuse me. He said, something just chased me down the hallway and it sounded like rustling leaves in my right ear only. And he said it quickened, it chased me. I said, what? Now I'm trying to get the paranormal thing. Like, what did it sound like? Where in the hallway was it? Was there a window open? Is there noise pollution? Did it happen to be the TV show? No, I was watching The Nanny on Roku, right? So like, it wasn't that she was, having an exorcism episode. Anyway, he screamed at me. He was like, I really I can't help you with this information right now. I'm in panic mode. So I said, hold my bowl. And I just got up, and I busted open the thing. I went through this whole house. Everything was dripping wet. I burned incense and sage and cypress. I did a house blessing. I called the saints of the martyrs and the litany of the saints and martyrs by name. And by the time it was over, I went back to the bedroom and I grabbed my bowl of soup. I went back to bed and I said, problem solved. And tomorrow we'll go through and we'll do the Italian style of house cleaning. That's like spiritual house cleansing. And we did, and no problems at all. I think it came from a mirror I did some scrying at in October. And the mirror came from a funeral home. And yeah, I don't think I closed it off well enough. She closed now, son. She's closed and cleaned and Windexed and ready to go. She's no spiritual attachments whatsoever. But I think that's what it came from. Yeah.
Why are you scrying on a mirror from a funeral home?
Well, I was teaching a class on Victorian seance technique, specifically how the charlatans did it. I taught people how to ring bells without using your hands, how you perform that, what ectoplasm is, and how you can create your own ectoplasm at home. And then I said they did have one technique that I tried 30 years ago. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 30 years ago, called scrying, which broke me so hardcore that I'm petrified of it. I'm scared of it. But I said I would like to try it. So they brought in this mirror from my personal collection. I mean, by the way, I don't have a museum. I live in this shit. Like, this is my personal collection of stuff. Like, I don't have any special Ed Warren shed out back. I don't have a she shed full of haunted shit. Anyway, we brought it in. We set it down. I did the water and let it drip. We lit the candles, and I sat there. I tranced, which Michael will tell you, I don't ever just trance. I don't ever just trance. It went really bad for me once long ago, and I don't do it anymore. I did. And the amount of information I came with, by the way, this is at a radio station. Again, I've made broadcast history. Nobody talks about it. Anyway, I was sitting there and I did this. And when I turned around, everybody who worked in that studio had no blood in their face. When I came to, I turned around and the whole room was just like pin could have dropped. And I said, who knows anything about what I've said? They stood up and they were like, here. I mean, just completely confirming everything I said. I saw two entities. One lady was sick and she was wringing her hands. And I said, do you know anybody in the room? And she said, I don't know anybody in this room, but I've been having cancer. I had cancer. The treatments made me a lot sicker. She looked in terrible shape. There was another lady, young lady with mousy brown hair who had blonde in it, but she had blood coming down the left side of her face. And she looked like she'd been tumbled in traffic, like she had been in a car accident. I said, she had a car accident. I said, do you know somebody in the room? And she said, yes, I do. And I said, okay, thank you. That's when my face started to change. I could see that my face was starting to change. In trance mode, it happens this way. And I called it. I was like, no. We will not be in. No, we're not having this episode is not happening. You know what I mean? It's just not going to go down. So I turned around and said, what does anybody know? They said, the first lady is the wife of this radio station. The owner, his wife, passed away from cancer. She doesn't know anybody in this room. She passed before anybody was hired, but her daughter is in the office next door. And by the way, it's her Halloween decorations we used for tonight's event. I had no idea about that. This other gal stood up and she said, that young lady who fell in the traffic, that is exactly my babysitter from Florida who died. I had no idea of that. No idea. So I'm scryed beautifully. I just didn't shut it down beautifully. It's done now, but yeah, that's why I'm scrying. I needed to try it. It did great things, but I didn't do the job properly of shutting it down. It is shut down now. So I know, rookie mistake.
It is indeed. All right. Finally, what are you working on, Ken Boggle?
Okay. So I have one TV show that's in pre-production. I actually have two. The first one, we're just waiting for funding. That'll probably happen in 26. But that's going to break the mold of daytime television. The other thing that I'm working on is a paranormal. You don't call it a series, do you? When it's on social media, a social media series. What do you call that?
You can still call it a series.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm doing a series for social media. The whole idea there is that Ken Boggle has a sense of humor.
Boy, are they in for disappointment. So is that like
I think they just want to piss me off and put a camera in my face while I'm angry. I think that's what's happening.
So is this going to be like a mini docu-series then?
No, it's not at all. Not at all. It's going to be a really cute series. I think it's like 30-minute episodes where I teach people how to do paranormal investigating things. I leave them in a spot, and meanwhile, I'm in Video Village watching these things play out. I throw things at them that are there. I throw different techniques at them that they're not expecting. In one episode, I call the cops on them to see how they handle that. You know what I mean? If you're walking around in a school with flashing lights going everywhere, I find it very suspicious that you wouldn't have the cops called on you. So, I'm going to call the cops on them and see.
So it's impractical. It's Impractical Joker's paranormal style.
That's what I'm told is going down. That's what I'm told, and it's supposed to be a really great way for me to have a sense of humor. And here's the thing about it: I love the idea. Because right now the pendulum is not taking paranormal investigation seriously. It's not. However, if you can get them with the humor, if you can hook them with the humor, you can actually do something really, really good with the time in between. And that's what Living for the Dead taught me as well, is that you can actually do something really, really great if you hook them with something. Now, I'm no Zach Baggins, so I can't take my shirt off and claim everything's a demon, right? And, get myself a museum in Las Vegas and make my money. I can't do that. But what I can do is hook somebody with comedy and then do something really great while I've got them. That I can do. And I'm looking forward to it. The other is a TV show happening in Scotland. I think I'll leave in a couple of months to go do that. And I'm filming a top secret episode with somebody that I can't say anything about because it's an NDA, but it's going to make Living for the Dead people very, very happy to see me and this person back together. Which is the first time we've been in the same room since it all went down.
I understand.
It's going to be great.
Anthony, you've been quiet, so I want to make sure if you have any questions that you get them in.
Curious about the Ireland thing, but I don't know if you can talk about that. What
you're
doing over there.
Yeah. It is a really cool concept where we're going to do paranormal investigations of places that nobody really talks about. Everybody goes over and they do a cryptid search for what? Loch Ness Monster. Right? Or they go out to a forest somewhere and they run around screaming, talking about fairies. Well, we have a couple of places that are set up here where we're going to actually go to real villages that nobody talks about and live there for a minute and really do some work. There's a small cottage that's haunted by a banshee, so in the middle of the Scotland Highlands, I'm going to get a sleeping bag and spend the night.
Well, if you see one, let me know if she's wearing white.
The fairy or the banshee?
The banshee.
No, Roz rarely ever wears it. Roz Randy just rarely ever wears white. She's a banshee and a half. No, I don't think they do they? They wear gray and black, right? Banshees?
Well, according to Anthony, a banshee counts as a woman in white. Or a white lady.
Because of the wailing aspect, but yes.
Oh, God, no.
I don't think it's just that exclusive, but I think that's part of the lore, right? We'll find out. I'll go to Scotland and let you know, Love Bug. I'll find out. I'll do that. But it's going to be great because we're not only just doing that. We're going to go to like villages that still paint their doors with blood.
So you'll be stopping at the slaughtered lamb and walking across the moors at night.
I don't know if I can say anything about Ken Boggle in the moors or Ken Boggle at the slaughtered lamb or slaughtered lamb or what was the other? I mean, I can't say anything about that.
Okay.
But good for you, Anthony. Could you see Ken Boggle walking through the moors in Gucci shoes and a black robe? I mean, come on. With the fog rolling in. Please, you want another Emmy? That's how you get another Emmy. Film my fat ass going through the moors in the middle of the dark night. Ugh.
Yeah, you're gonna trip and fall in, and nobody's ever gonna see you again.
You know, he went the way he lived, babe. Check his pockets for donuts.
Oh Jesus. So beyond your projects and stuff, but you mean you still go to, like you said, you still go to markets and everything. How can people get a hold of you? How can people see you? How can people set up readings with you?
Right. You'll go to kenboggle.com. One of the ways the show affected me negatively is that now there are 3,000 Ken Boggles. And if you don't go to KenBoggle.com, no special characters, no special anything, KenBoggle.com, you'll get scammed. My social media is at Ken Boggle. No special characters. It's not spelled with a capital I, Ken Boggle. Don't know how to make it any easier for folks. If you want to hang out with me, you have to go through the KenBoggle.com. I do all the scheduling myself, and I take care of all that. I used to have an assistant. I don't know. I no longer have that. I take care of all of it myself. So find me and come see me. Why are you laughing? Because I had an assistant and lost it.
No, I just as somebody who has been fat my entire life, I realized many, many years ago how much fun it is to make fun of big people. And you said that you lost it. The first thing that came to mind was like, did you eat her?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
immaturity.
I
Immaturity.
Did. Her name was Mary, and she was delicious. Scrummy. She was scrumptious.
There's the slaughtered lamb right there.
The slaughtered lamb. Poor Mary. Poor Mary. Anyway, so no, yeah. Holler at me and I'll get in there. If you want to kind of like get to know me through social media, it's just at Ken Boggle, KenBoggle. You mean anybody else is going to take your money. One scammer has like his total's like $8,000, $9,000, something like that.
Wow.
And I only know about that because we're working with the FBI. I have a client in the FBI who's going to help me sort that out. And I have another client in TikTok Securities who's helping me figure that out too. We're just building a case to kind of shut that down. I can't wait. And I look forward to it because I have nothing else going on, that requires my such attention. Yeah. But yeah, Ken Boggle, just find me there.
Sounds good. Ken, it's been too long. We will not wait 2 years before you come back.
Let's not.
It's not.
That's on me. That's me. That was on me.
Oh, that's 100% on you.
Yeah. Well, I had to go through stuff. You know how it is. Yeah.
I do.
That's for.
I really, really do.
I know you.
All right. Well, that does it for this week.
Right.
Chances are we will be back next week. Not a lot of shows left in the year, and the holidays are coming up. But Anthony and I still have to do our Christmas episode. So looking forward to that. But Ken, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Anthony.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And yeah, so we'll be back probably next week. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe. Being on brand with Ken, you are your brother's keeper. Why don't you take us out, Ken?
Take care of yourselves and take even better care of each other, because at the end of the day, you are your brother's keeper. Thanks for listening to Odyssey Files.
Holy crap! Did you hack the shit out of that?
Yeah, let's try it again. Take care of yourselves and take even better care of each other, because at the end of the day, you are your brother's keeper. Thanks for listening to us here on the Odyssey Files.
There you go.
Use that. That's gold.
Never mind. We're gonna leave now.
TV taught me a take two. You get a take two. You guys can edit. Figure that out.
You get a mulligan. All right. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you back here.